Although I'm going to give an argument for why atheism is irrational. Now, I need to stand up straight. I have a problem with slouching, so if I look kind of odd, forgive me. I hope you people are familiar with the Kalam cosmological argument for the existence of God, and there are people like William Lane Craig that can explain this very well, and I recommend his book called On Guard by William Lane Craig. Okay? So, this is representing the universe. This blue square represents the universe. And this icon represents God, the Christian God. And as you can see, he is outside the physical universe. Pagan deities are usually within the universe. They're finite, contingent, dependent on the universe. And I would argue that the reason why they're in and of this universe is because they are in and of the human mind. They are products of the human mind inspired by demons. But the Christian God exists outside the time-space manifold. He's at the infinite level, and he is revealed. He was revealed to man in the universe. He was not created by man. He was revealed to man by the power of the Holy Spirit. So here we have the Christian God outside the physical universe. He's at the infinite level. This is the finite, contingent, created universe. And there are only two things that can exist outside of the universe: mind and abstract concepts like numbers. Well, we know God has mind. Numbers do not cause anything. For example, a 7 does not cause other numbers. So it makes sense, it's more rational to believe that God created the universe. And the universe is fine-tuned for intelligent life. That's called the anthropic principle. You can do research on that. Now, I would argue that atheism is irrational because it admits this exists, but it doesn't have a rational and logical argument for why it exists. And we now know that the universe began a finite time ago. It is not eternal like the ancients in paganism used to believe. It is finite. It was created. And this is pretty much the consensus of modern physicists and astronomers, that the universe came into existence a finite time ago. The Kalam cosmological argument for the existence of God says that anything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist. Therefore, the universe has a cause. I already explained why numbers and abstract concepts cannot be the cause, but it's more rational to say God caused it because he has mind, and he is the cause. Now, the first two premises in that argument are valid. Therefore, the conclusion follows logically and inescapably, whether anyone likes it or not. God created the universe. And another interesting thing is that the atheists and skeptics today are trying to set forth the idea of parallel universes. Well, even if that's true, which I don't grant, where are these parallel universes coming from? How can nothing produce something. That is metaphysically and logically impossible, people. Nothing cannot produce something. There's nothing, I mean, if God didn't exist, there's nothing here to produce this. See, nothing has no properties. It has no potentialities. And why is it that nothing is producing only universes in the atheist mind? Why is it universes that nothing is producing? Does nothing have discrimination properties? Can it does differentiate between things? So why is it always universes that nothing is producing, and not, say, cosmic size tricycles or cosmic size lollipops? But it's always universes, which implies that nothing has properties. But since nothing exists, it's impossible for it to have properties. So Occam's razor, all things being equal, the simplest explanation tends to be the right one. Is a more rational and logical, that God did it is more rational and logical, because God is more simple, actually, than an infinite set of parallel universes that come from absolutely nothing. Folks, that is irrational. Atheists are asking you to be irrational. From nothing, nothing comes. That is a metaphysical truth. That has held since the time of, I think, Plato, maybe? I think it was Plato. Maybe Plotinus. Not really. I don't really remember. But from nothing, nothing comes. Nothing here cannot produce something. It's metaphysically, logically, and scientifically impossible, people. Atheists are asking you to be irrational and foolish. It makes more sense that the infinite Christian God, who is above and transcends the universe, created the universe. So the conclusion of the cosmological argument, therefore the universe has a cause, is a fact, people, whether you like it or not. The universe was caused by something that has the ability to distinguish between things. That God created the universe. He didn't create a cosmic size football, for example. Okay, it's a universe with planets, and that little speck right there is the galaxy you and I live in today. It's so small you can't even see it. And our little Earth is just a little speck of that. So it's obvious for anyone who is rational, logical, reasonable, and scientific that God created the universe. I submit atheism is irrational, it is foolish, and for a more thorough and detailed explanation, I recommend On Guard by Dr. William Lane Craig. Thank you for listening. God exists outside the material plane. He's transcendent to it. He's at the infinite level. He's above it. And this universe, which is represented by this square here, came from God. It did not come from nothing. Nothing has no properties. It cannot create and produce anything. It is impossible, people. It is impossible.